These are 21 simple, easy, effective tips that I wish I knew when I was 250 pounds. I now weigh 170 pounds, but when I was overweight, these tips would have helped me out tremendously. So these are some of the things that I wish I knew back then. And if you're new here, my name is Jeff. I'm an online fitness and nutrition coach, and I help people get in the best shape of their lives by ditching the fad diets, the crash diets, all the bullshit that doesn't work, and focusing on the simple stuff like calories, protein, steps, and strength training. So if you're new here, I would love it if you subscribe to the channel. This is a new channel for me, and yeah, drop the video a like, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so tip number one, focus on the next step in front of you instead of the end goal. Now what I mean by this is when I was 250 pounds, I would constantly think about weighing 180 pounds. This was a mistake. I actually wanted to think about weighing 240 pounds. So like break up your journey into these little 5 to 10 pound milestones, and it makes things a lot more manageable instead of always stressing out about the end goal. So what can I do today that's going to get me a little bit closer to that 10-pound goal instead of thinking about what's going to help me lose 70 pounds, which sounds like impossible when you weigh that much. It's a lot easier to break things down into 5 to 10 pound little chunks. Number two, do some form of fasting throughout the day just to make sure that you are in that calorie deficit. I feel like not only does this build a little bit of physical willpower, but it builds a little bit of psychological willpower. Just skipping a meal, having coffee for breakfast, and then pushing back your first meal until like noon or 1 o'clock. It really does help create that calorie deficit and allows you to experience hunger earlier in the day rather than when you're trying to go to bed. Speaking of bed, number three, make sure you sleep 7 to 9 hours per night. I talked about this in my last video and how important sleep is for fat loss. When you get bad sleep, fat loss is on hard mode. You start craving sugar, it's really hard to get a workout in, and you just are not in the right headspace to be losing fat. Number four, document the journey. And what I mean by this is like have a spreadsheet or a journal or somewhere where you can document the process, because it's a lot easier to look back on what you were doing a year ago and be like, oh, this is how I lost 70 pounds. This is how I lost 50 pounds. This is how I lost 30 pounds. And see what you were actually doing and what mindset you were in. And you'll be able to remind yourself of what was working and what wasn't. Number four, eat a big ass salad per day. I can't explain why this works or how it works, but when you eat a big salad per day, and I'm talking about one that you make at home with like lots of protein and veggies and fiber and a low calorie dressing, it just kind of sets your day up for success. Like you feel like, oh, I've eaten a big salad today, therefore I don't want to like ruin my diet the rest of the day by eating a bunch of other crap. And I can't explain why this works, but it just gets things moving. And not only does it get things moving digestive wise, it gets things moving from a fat loss perspective. Number five, take things one day at a time. Like pick 3 things that you want to nail that day and just knock them out of the park. For me, it was calories, protein, and steps. As long as I hit my calories, I nail my protein, and I hit my steps every single day, I would have a successful day. Sure, if I did all the other things, it'd be great too. Like if I got my sleep in, if I got my water, I took my supplements, I ate a big salad, I got my fruit. If I did all those things, that's great too. But the 3 main things were calories, protein, and steps, and it helped me to just simplify that. Number 6. Coffee or caffeine makes fat loss way easier. Coffee is actually an appetite suppressant and it helps blunt your hunger throughout the day so that you can skip meals. You can eat very little throughout the day while still maintaining your energy levels, and it's just a natural appetite suppressant. Number 7, chug water all day long. Like literally start when you first wake up, chug a big glass of water, and then have like 3 to 4 more bottles of water throughout the day. You don't even have to count them. Just be drinking water constantly. It doesn't matter if it's sparkling water, flavored water, just drink tons of water. Number 8, strength train 3 to 4 times per week. You don't need to be in the gym 6 days a week. You don't need to be in the gym 7 days a week. You just need to make sure that you're doing some form of strength training 3 times a week and you will see amazing progress. Number 9, don't compare your journey to anyone else's journey. Just because Karen in accounting lost 50 pounds doing keto doesn't mean that you need to do the same thing. Your journey is probably going to be a lot different than anyone else's, and it's going to be a lot more sustainable if you go a bit slower and take your time. Number 10, stop following coaches on social media. I can't tell you how many terrible fitness coaches there are on social media who are just fear-mongering. The reason for this is because it gets clicks and likes and views. If you are watching someone in the grocery store telling you that the seed oils in your favorite protein bar are keeping you fat, sick, and unhealthy and going to cause cancer, just unfollow that dude. I promise you it's going to ease your mind. Number 11, do the hard things, especially when you don't want to. If you're feeling a little bit of resistance with something, jump in with both feet. This will actually start to train your brain to stop being a little bitch. Like, you need to stop pressing the snooze button on life, okay? And that is a metaphor, but like, you should also stop pressing the snooze button, because you could literally just swing your feet out and just get started. Focus on the next task in front of you, like the easiest thing that you can accomplish. Instead of, I gotta feed the dogs, I gotta take them out, I gotta go to work, I got all these to-do lists. Before you even swing your feet out of bed, just think, all I've got to do is swing my feet out of this bed. See how much easier that is? Number 12, get into some sort of recreational sport. I know that this helped me a ton when I was trying to lose fat, because when I got into pickleball, stupid name but amazing sport, I actually started to get in way more steps in throughout the day. And when I started playing singles, I started to get in more cardio. And now I've got a whole new group of friends and community, and I play like 5 to 6 times a week. So I'm getting tons of activity and extra steps in, and it has made fat loss way easier, and I've made a whole new group of friends. So super fun. Get into something like pickleball, volleyball, soccer, softball, whatever it is, but join some sort of sport that makes staying active and getting active a little bit more easy and fun. Now, you should still do your strength training, but also do some sort of sport. Number 13, do mobility work every single day. And what I mean by this is, like, you don't have to do these like hour-long stretching sessions, but do some cat-cows when you first wake up. Do some T-spine rotations, do some things that are going to help your body not feel so stiff and cranky all the time. Just do like 5 to 10 minutes per day, and you're going to notice a difference. Number 14, start to think about what foods actually help you stay full and what foods do not. So for me, oats in the morning, they do not keep me full. For other people, eating oatmeal in the morning is like their favorite thing and it keeps them full. I know for me, it just doesn't keep me full. What keeps me full is eggs, egg whites, and a lot of vegetables. That's what keeps me full, and a little bit of avocado. So I found that breakfast keeps me more full. Therefore, that's what I go to. Number 15, stop quitting and then getting back on the bandwagon every single week. If you're treating the weekends like an all-out fuck it fest, it's going to sabotage your results. So what you need to do instead of this is pick one day per week, one meal per week that you can have a little bit of a break from the diet. Go out to eat, go out to your favorite restaurant that you've been craving all week, and just go and have that meal without guilt. Go and enjoy it, and then get right back on track. Instead of taking Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and then getting back on track on Monday, that is going to hinder your results. But if you just do one meal off track, that is way less damaging to your overall calorie budget. Number 16, don't expect A+ results from a C+ effort. So what do I mean by this? I mean, you can't expect, like, if you're only 70% consistent, you can't expect 100% results. And what do I mean by this? I mean, like, if your plan is to get calories, protein, and steps every single day, and you only hit your calories, protein, and steps 4 days out of the week because you took Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, that's only 57% consistency. Like, you wouldn't expect to pass a class getting a 57%, or maybe you would, I don't know. Like, you wouldn't expect to get a good grade in a class with the 57%, so you can't expect to get a good grade with your health and fitness with a 57% consistency. And a lot of people think they're more consistent than they actually are. Number 17, find some sort of layer of community or accountability. Like, I'm a fitness coach, I'm an online coach, and my clients, they have me as their accountability, so they can rely on me. We do our weekly check-ins. We make sure they're on track with their nutrition and their training every single week. But if you don't have that, or you can't afford it, you can totally just grab a friend and be like, hey, do you want to start getting healthy and start eating better? And if they say, no, I'm not in the right headspace for it, blah, blah, find someone else. Find someone that's on the same page as you that wants to change their habits. And then you guys just text every morning. You know, maybe you text your daily weigh-ins, your calories from yesterday, your steps from yesterday. So that way you have that layer of accountability with each other to keep going. Number 18, you have to work foods in that are not part of a healthy diet. What do I mean by this? I mean, it may be beneficial for you to work like a Snickers bar into your calories, or a Reese's peanut butter cup, or something like that. Something that's going to make your diet not feel like a diet. You can still lose fat eating these foods. There's a guy who ate nothing but Twinkies and protein shakes, and he lost like 26 pounds and improved all his health markers. The quality of your food doesn't matter as much as the quantity of food, and making sure that your body fat is at a healthy level. Number 19, what you're doing needs to be sustainable in the long run, but it doesn't need to be sustainable at first. And what do I mean by this? I mean, you can go on a rapid fat loss challenge and lose 20 pounds in 10 weeks, and you will see amazing results, but then after that, you need to go into something more sustainable. You can't sustain that level of consistency and that level of aggressiveness with your fat loss journey. It may be a good jump start or quick start, but it's not smart to stay doing that for very long. Number 20, working on your mental health is just as important as working on your physical health. What do I mean by this? I mean that you should be journaling, you should be meditating, you should be practicing gratitude, you should be going to therapy, you should be working on your mental health, because chances are it's just as much of a mental game as it is a physical game. You don't have an issue with overeating calories. You have an issue with avoiding your problems like stress and anxiety, and avoiding the root causes of those stress and anxiety, which probably date back to your childhood or some shit. So you have to start working through your deep-seated inner childhood stuff if you actually want the changes that you're making to stick. I know that was a deep one. Number 21, get yourself a coach. I talked about community accountability, but seriously, get yourself a coach. Even if it's just for like 6 months or something like that, I promise you the amount of time, energy, and money that you invest in a coach is so worth it. And I've hired a coach to help me stay accountable with my fitness journey, and I've kept that coach for years and years because I saw that the benefit of having a coach far outweighs the benefit of me saving a couple $100 a month. I actually was able to make more money because I was putting my health first, putting my mental health first, putting energy into this stuff, and I was able to make more money in my business because I was actually prioritizing the stuff that mattered in my life. So losing the weight, getting in better shape, getting stronger might actually get you a promotion at work, and then that $200 or $300 that you're spending on a coach per month, you could actually start to recoup that expense or even write it off on your taxes. Okay, so don't tell me it's too expensive, you can't afford it, when you're literally spending like $50 to $60 per week on DoorDash, or going out to the bars, or going out drinking wine. You don't think twice when you're breaking out your credit card and spending a bunch of money elsewhere. But if it's for your health, for some reason you like bat an eye at it, please stop. Start investing in yourself, because we only have one body. We only have this vessel in our lives. And if you want to apply for coaching, check it out down below in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.